the scores are, and we got results from Sunday's games. And gosh, kind of crazy. Uh, Checked in and saw that the computer had clipped off six in a row and had a loss, 6-1. So I did a little live stream when I was 6-1, not knowing that this is how we were going to end up. Crazy, crazy. But look at these. Look at these computer predictions. Miami of Florida and Fordham. Computer said 71-67. Look at the final score: 72-60, 80-68 here in St. John's and Colgate. Finals. The actual finals were 82-64. It's getting pretty darn close. There was a couple of others here that were just almost like this was Fairfield to William and Mary, 74-50, and the final was 70-47. We're just really getting close to these numbers here. Oh, this one's great. 68-55, final score 67-54. It's getting pretty accurate. And that's why I'm not worried about this right now, because I'm seeing this start to come around now. Yeah, we're way off here. We're way off here. We were way off here. We were off, but I'm starting to see the computer really dialing in on some of these predicted scores and their outcomes. So it is encouraging to say the least. So yeah, 14-15, kind of ugly, under 500, blah. But I tell you, when you have a string of 5 in a row, and it's looking like all the world, like you're going to have a great night, man, I tell you, it's hard not to get excited about it. But that's how things played out, 14-15. We didn't really run our science project down here. For those who don't know, I've been giving the computer predicted score. I've been adding 3 additional points for the home team. And on Sunday, it changed no picks, zero picks. So we really couldn't do much with that. So right now, the first night we did it, it did swing 2 games towards us. Second night, it swung a game away from us. Sunday, there was all kinds of havoc. I think there were 7 that swung towards us and 6 that swung away from us. So what's that, like, net out to like a +1, But we're still going to do it again on Monday, even though Monday is a very light night, only 9 games on Monday. That's kind of a bummer. I always like a slate. But here's our science project down here. We'll get to this in a moment. I haven't added the points yet. So I have run the computer predictions, but I haven't done is put in the Vegas line here. So I thought we would do that. There was one I know we're missing. I think it's this one. I think it's Princeton UMBC. There's no line yet on that. It's Sunday, 8 o'clock as I record this. But let's go take a look. I'm going to look at the line. I will share. It's kind of cumbersome to share, but I'll share just so you know what my source is. So let me get out of this for a second. And I'm going to pull up where I'm getting my lines. And the reason why I like this is because I get the matchup and the line. So here's the matchup. Here's where it's at. That's also handy, and the line, just at a glance. So instead of bouncing around to VegasInsider.com or any other your sports books, your online sports books that are setting lines, I just like to come here and get them. I'll go back and I'll double check them against what the odds makers are saying. But typically, this is right on the money here. So that's my source, my primary source. So just in case anyone was curious, that's where I'm getting the lines from. All right, let's bounce back over to our pick sheet. And so I'm not going to do this every time. It's cumbersome. So I'm going to go get the line, and we'll type it in here, and we'll see how it compares to computer pick, right? So if this is, well, let's just go do one. So Chicago State at home to Northern Illinois, and Chicago State's getting 2 points. So we come over here, the computer's saying Chicago State's going to win the game, but Vegas is giving them 2 points. Now, I like to buy the hook or sell the hook, whatever the case, just to put me on a half point. So this is a money line play because we're going to bet the underdog to win. And Northern Illinois is giving Chicago State 1.5 points. That's going to put it on the other side of the line. And that is now a money play opportunity. So I like to shade these in green. Oh, that's ugly. Let's fix that. I didn't count on that happening. So we shade this in green. And we got to get it all down here. And we're going to make our pick. And I got to put the bracket on there because once we shade these in as a win or loss, there's the highlight disappears, but the bracket remains. So we're going to highlight this in yellow. That's our pick. So that's a money line opportunity right off the bat. And we like money line opportunities. We've converted a bunch of them. Princeton and UMBC, that is the one we don't have a line on. Do a little refresh here just to make sure. And yeah, still no line. So we're going to have to come back and do that one once the line has appeared. And so scrolling down, next game should be George Washington at home, laying 3.5 to Radford. Pop back in here. George Washington home, laying 3.5 to Radford. So the line is 3.5. So we don't get there. But this happens a lot. The computer and Vegas agree an awful lot. Now, this paints us into a corner. We only have a half point to deal with. So it physically forces us to take the underdog. And I don't mind taking the underdog, but I wish I had more than a half dang point to work with, So that's how the contest is. So we're going to play every single game. We're not going to change our computer prediction except down here during our science project. And we're only going to change the line when the line moves. So before this tips tomorrow, if I see it's moved, and now let's say GW is laying 4.5, that puts them as a favorite. I will flip this because I just want to be a savvy gambler and go shop for the best lines I can get because I have in my head how it's going to play out in the real world. But I don't have any control over this. So now you compare that like at a sports book or online, I would stay away from this. I would jump on this. I would buy this in a heartbeat because I want that money line play, and I'll play it as a money line. But this, I'm going to sit back and wait. That's just me in real life. But according to the contest, I'm physically forced to make this decision. So that's my decision. I'll be looking to see if that line moves, and I'll react appropriately. Okay, next, Boston College at home to Albany. We ran the predicted score. We say Boston College by 26. What does Vegas say? And Vegas says Boston College by 16.5. So we say we're going to win and cover here, Boston College. I like this because, they're a home team. Pretty strong team versus kind of a weak team. And our computer predictions have been kind of strong. That's not the yellow I'm looking for. There it is. Our computer predictions have been kind of strong. So I like this play. So we're going to play Boston College here. And we got 10 points to play with. Cleveland State visits Oklahoma State. The line here is Oklahoma State laying 12.5. So not a ton of room to work with, but we do have Oklahoma State winning by 14. So that's a win and cover. So our play is going to be Oklahoma State. And like always, we'll see if that line moves, we'll react appropriately. Indiana State on the road to North Dakota State. And Vegas says North Dakota laying 2.5. North Dakota laying 2.5. So Indiana State's getting 2.5. And folks, it's because they're the home team. Trust me, the numbers for Indiana State are much stronger than they are for North Dakota State. But Vegas just loves this home team. They just if the best team in the country traveled to play the worst team I'm telling you, Vegas would consider making the number one team the dog. I'm telling you, they believe that strongly in home court. Okay, since we're on the other side of the line, and now Indiana State is the underdog, that makes this say it with me, a money line play. So we're going to bet the money line. Oh, that's right. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to copy this format. And I'm just going to paste the format only here. And boom. That's a lot It's a lot easier. So now not only are we saying Indiana State's going to win, now we got 2.5 points in our back pocket. So there's two money line plays right here. We'll see how we do. Okay, Rhode Island on the road to Milwaukee. Let's see what Vegas says. Milwaukee is getting 6.5. 6.5. Now, it's because you're on the road, because really in heads up on a neutral court, this is how that game plays out. That's a strong team. We don't have many finals on Milwaukee. I think only 6 games we have on Milwaukee, but they haven't looked too good. So we're going to say it's a Rhode Island win and cover. Now, Vegas probably knows more than I do. Okay, they've been doing this a lot longer. So you will never hear me criticize Vegas for these lines. I'm just pointing out the obvious. And the obvious is, man, they think the world of the home court advantage. And the computer takes a bit of that in consideration. It's a kind of a long description. I've given it once before. There's some older videos that talks about it. But there is some home court advantage sort of worked into these predicted scores. Not directly. We're going to do it directly down here, but not up here. So this is just the strength of one team versus the strength of the other, with a little nod to home court advantage, but not much. And I think that's why, you end up going 14 and 15 sometimes, just because I'm not doing it. I'm not taking that home court into advantage. Sacred Heart at home to Columbia. So Columbia is 0-10 or something like that. And Sacred Heart's not much better, but Columbia's 0-10. I mean, they have not been the strongest. So Columbia at home, and Vegas is saying Sacred Heart's giving Columbia 4.5. So that's the line. Columbia getting 4.5, and we say Sacred Heart wins by 13. So on the road, I understand they're on the road, but let me tell you, folks, Columbia is not a good basketball team. Portland hosting Cal Poly. Computer says it's a Portland win by 9. Vegas says Portland laying 4.5. So that's a win and a cover for Portland. And that's how we're going to play that. Okay, only 9 games. So I thought I'd walk through the process here. We got no line on this one, so I'm just going to highlight it so I don't forget it. No line, and we're going to make sure we don't forget it. Okay, now down here is our science project. Let me just copy and paste this thing down here. We move this up. So before I do that, Chicago State's the home team. Computer prediction 65-59. It still says that down here. We have not added the 3 points yet. Okay, so let's go add the 3 points and see what happens. So that now becomes Chicago State 68-59, and that line, Chicago State getting 1.5. I don't want to bounce back and forth like that. Chicago State getting 1.5. So now we say, oh, I didn't enable my my calculator here. Let me just do this real quick. Apologize, folks. Say sports bet and spreadsheet class we're doing here. Okay, so now we say it's by 9. So it hasn't flipped this pick, so I'm not going to worry about it. All right, I'm not going to count this twice. It hasn't flipped it. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for these games to flip, so then we can get some good info out of them. Oops. I'm going to Control V. I just add the calculator in here. Just take me a second. Okay, we got no line here. George Washington's at home. It's 3.5. And we're only going to add to our total here. So 69, 63. Why isn't that calculator working? What the heck? I did it on the wrong ones. There we go. We moved it to 6 points now. All right. So it hasn't changed that. So we get no value out of this. Boston College is home. That's 16 and a half. We're on the side of the home favorite. So we're gonna bump that up 3 points. It's now a 29 point win for Boston College. It didn't flip it, so no value there. Oklahoma State, same thing. It's 12 and a half. We already have them. We're gonna add the 3, and it's a 17 point difference now, but no flip. Let me just make sure I've got all of these figured out. Okay. Indiana State, this line, we're getting 2.5, and we're gonna give them. Now it's gonna be 64-70. We still say Indiana State by 6, so it's not gonna flip. So there's no value there. Milwaukee's at home. Add the 3. It's now a 19-point game. The line is 6.5. No flip. Columbia at home. It's a 4.5 point line. We're going to make this 63. It's now a 10-point win, so no flip there. 4.5. Portland's at home, so 71. Makes it a 12-point game. We still say they covered. So again, there's no games that flipped on Monday. So the science project is going to have to live on without any data from Sunday or Monday. So that's our games for Monday. Coming up here, this game tips off early in the day. I'm not sure why, but I'm out here on the West Coast. This is a 10 a.m. Tip. Everything else is going to be in the late afternoon, evening. So we will track this Monday night and report back after the games have gone final, just like we're doing tonight. Before we go, we did get. I should mention this. We did get another money line play on Sunday. So I think we had 3 potential. So here the SIU Edwardsville was at home to Kansas City, getting a 1.5. And we said SIU should win by 1 point, and they did. They won by 4 points. So we bet the underdog, and the underdog won. And so we got a money line out of that. So we got one money line. 14 and 15, but we did get the one money line, which means we're walking out of the casino with more cash than we walked in with, because we did less than break even, so that's bad. But the money line pays you more than these pay you 2-to-1. Whatever you bet, you're going to double your money if you win. Almost. You got to pay a little juice, but the money line it pays better than that. So we're plus money now that thanks to that money line. Otherwise, we would have been crying in our bourbon if that money line didn't hit. So 14 and 15 on the evening on Sunday, with the money line hit, brings us to 266 victories and 224 bitter defeats, 54.29% winning percentage with the 18 money lines. So not where we need to be, not where we were up here, and then all of a sudden we got bad, and then we sort of come back a little bit, and this sort of happens here. But I tell you, I'm encouraged when I see these predictions getting so close. Again, I mean, that is right on the money. 71.67 and ended up 72.66, and it repeats. So we're getting close. That one's pretty close. We're 68.55, and it was 67.54. So we're starting to smother the lines here a little bit. Sort of the goal is to sort of predict how the real world's going to play out. It's not sort of the goal. That's the damn goal. And when you start doing this as frequently as we are, we're getting dang close. Now, the closer we get, the better, the more accurate these picks are going to be. And so we're starting to get dialed in. And I'm starting to get to the point where I can't say there's not much data because, we got most teams around 9, 10 final scores now. There's a handful that are 4 and 5, and there's a handful that are 13 and 14, finals. That's plenty of data. But, we're right on the cusp there. So we're getting close. I think this is going to get good. I think you're going to see really big improvement here. And for it not being so accurate, we're still plus money here, and this is very helpful. But that winning percentage is not why we're here. We're not here for 54% winning percentage. We're here for much better than that. And I'm telling you, it's going to get there. So that's it for my empty promises for tonight. I'm not going to talk about the rankings, but here they are. This is not ready to be displayed. And really, that's what the ScoreZar system is designed to do, is to create a ranking system. And yeah, we're, getting close, but I'm still not happy with it. I think I watched the best team in the nation take a really great team to the woodshed and just deliver a pounding today. I think I saw the best team in the nation, but we got a long ways to go. So we'll see what happens along the way as we go. Players can get hurt. You never know. You just never know. But that's why we play them out. So that's going to do it for this edition of the ScoreZar show, and I hope to catch you on the next.